Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off with a recent update from the mutant Nick Walker at about 10 weeks out from this year's Olympia. And just a year ago, I would have said that the rear lat spread is one of Nick Walker's worst poses, but Nick has significantly improved this shot. And of course, when it comes to Nick, everyone is going to be looking at the quad sweeps, have they improved? And I would say that Nick Walker has made improvements to his legs. Now, his lower half still isn't proportional to the upper half, but I do think improvements have been made. And Nick is definitely looking to come in full blown at this year's Olympia. I'm looking to see the biggest and the best Nick Walker we've ever seen. Not sure exactly how much he's weighing right now, but I would guess high 270s, low 280s. And as of right now, I see Nick Walker placing 4th at the Olympia at worst, but it's probably going to get a little bit harder for Nick each year. As the better structure, more shapely guys continue to come into their own, guys like Andrew Jack, even Michal Krizo, they're going to make it very hard for Nick because there's only so much he can do with his structure. But going into this year's show, I wouldn't count out Nick Walker. Yes, he needs bigger legs, but Nick has some of the biggest arms in the sport, one of the best backs, some of the craziest hamstrings, and he's also one of the most conditioned and consistent guys in the sport. Don't count this guy out. Now let's switch over to Regan Grimes, who recently posted up an update ahead of the Italy Pro. And I'm pretty sure this update was taken the same day as the back double and the rear lat spread. But based off what I've been seeing in my comments and on other YouTube channels, it seems like everyone has Regan as the favorite to win Italy. Regan is the best guy structurally in the lineup. He has a great back, also has great hamstrings, and I think that will go a long way in this lineup because there are a few guys who are lacking on the hamstrings. And I've said this before about Keon Pearson, but Regan is posting a lot of updates going into this show, which means he really likes the way that he looks. I can't think of one guy that posts a lot of updates and comes in on show day looking terrible. Look for Regan to bring his best. Now let's switch over to DeAsha. These are the latest updates of him ahead of the Italy Pro. And let me know in the comment section below, where do you guys think Nathan will place at this show? I was reading the comments over on Buys and Tries on Instagram, and a few people in the comment section were saying he's not going to be a factor, he's not going to be top 3, so I'm interested to know, what do you guys think? As of right now, I have Nathan DeAsha placing 2nd. He's a pretty complete bodybuilder, but Regan Grimes is better structurally. As long as Regan is conditioned, I think he will get the nod. Now let's switch over to Blessing Awodibu. He will also be in Italy. And Blessing said, there is only 15 days till we see the best version of the boogeyman. And looking at these updates, I would say that's very possible. And as I mentioned earlier, Regan is going to have a hamstring advantage over Blessing Awodibu and Nathan DeAsha. And as we just seen with Hunter and Andrew, the hamstrings could be the difference in a guy winning the back double and the rear lat spread. But Nick Walker recently said on a podcast that Blessing's coach, Cameron Cheek, will be going with him to Italy, and I think that's great. He will be there for support and also be helping Blessing peak properly. And I know that Blessing probably won't be the most complete bodybuilder on the Italy Pro stage, but this guy brings a crazy wow factor, especially in the upper body and the back, crazy shoulder to waist ratio when he's on. I'm excited for this show. And in the next update of the day, I wanted to talk about Michal Krizo. Even though he's just in the gym hitting a few shots, we haven't really talked about Krizo in a little while. And I can't really see a scenario where Krizo does not place in the top 10 at this year's Olympia, unless he just comes in significantly off. But I think we're going to see something similar to the Impro Classic, or possibly even better than that. But you guys let me know in the comment section below, where does Krizo place at this year's Olympia? Now let's switch over to Carlos Thomas Jr. This update was actually taken in one day out from the Texas Pro, and Carlos is looking crazy. This guy's physique, you don't see something like this every day, especially with the size of his waist, the size of his quads, just crazy. And I have been hearing a rumor that Carlos will be competing in at least one of the European shows, but I can't confirm that. And personally, I don't think we're going to see Carlos in one of those European shows. But then again, guys, I don't know. I just know that he struggled with health issues going into New York and then went into Texas. I would think he wants to take some time off. But if Carlos wants to compete, go ahead. And let's switch over to classic physique. I wanted to talk about these recent images of Ramon Dino. Ramon is another guy we haven't really talked about in a little while. And it looks like Ramon has really packed on some size. Such a shame he's going to have to lose a lot of this just to make the classic physique weight cap. but I believe Ramon just got an extra 3 or 4 pounds, so that should be good. But even though Ramon has a weight cap, he has managed to make improvements inside that weight cap every single year, so I don't think this year's Olympia is going to be any different. Look for Ramon Dino to maintain his second place spot. And let's switch over to Kamal Elgargni, who posted up some updates ahead of the Masters Olympia. And Kamal is definitely one of the favorites to win this show, in my personal opinion. And he will be competing in Open. Kamal is not doing 212. But there are a few names on this list that could potentially win this show. Not going to be an easy win for Kamal at all. But I'm really excited to see, is this guy still going to be improving at 50 plus years old? And as I said, there are a few guys that could win this show. It could be Max Charles, Phil Klahar, Joshua Lenardowitz, Sergio Lima, maybe even Fred Smalls. And looking at this list, I would actually say that Phil Klahar is my favorite to win. But Kamal is the only guy on this list that has won an Olympia title. It was 212, but still an Olympia title. And let's switch over to Alex Combronero, who also posted up some updates ahead of the Masters Olympia. And of course, Alex will be competing in Classic Physique. And he is definitely the favorite to win this show, but he will have some competition in Derham Charles. This guy has won plenty Classic Physique shows. Pretty sure at least some of you guys know about Derham. But Alex looks great going into this show. And prior to this year, I had no idea this guy was in his 40s. But let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below, who is this bodybuilder? And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. I want to give a thank you to everyone. The views on the channel within the past week have been great. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.